Hello, beautiful soul. Random, not so random thought in this moment. It's been a while since I have recorded one of these, but just a thought that came to me actually a few days ago when I was listening to Bob Marley's song One Love. And that part in it, there's one question I really have to ask, is there a place for the hopeless sinners who have hurt all mankind just to save his own, right? And, just kind of thinking on that lyric and the meaning behind it, or maybe not even the intended meaning, but the meaning that I am feeling through it in this moment. I think previously when I would listen to that song, that lyric for me would mean, those who are actively causing harm, Is there a place for those who are actively causing harm for their own benefit, right? Knowingly causing harm to benefit themselves and those that they are aligned with, right? That's my, initial interpretation of that lyric in the song. And, I'm reflecting on it now and thinking of the space that we're in right now and recognizing that the only ones, or whereas before, thinking of those causing harm as those actually taking direct action towards causing harm intentionally, right? Knowing that harm will be caused and doing it anyway because you benefit. And thinking of other ways that we're able to cause harm. It doesn't necessarily have to be an action. Inaction is an action. Inaction is an act of, doing something, even though the name kind of states otherwise, right? But thinking of the things that are happening in the world right now, is there a place for the hopeless sinners that have hurt all mankind just to save their own, right? The only ones, the ones hurting mankind aren't just the ones that are actively, intentionally harming, right? Our inaction is also harmful. Our silence is harmful, right? In our silence, we are complicit because we allow these systems to perpetuate, right? In our participation in these systems, we are causing harm, right? And it's important that we allow ourselves to recognize that we allow ourselves to reflect on the part that we play in all the things that are happening right now in the world, right? And it's important that we allow ourselves to look at what's happening so that we can be triggered into that reflection, right? So that we can see the result of our inaction, of our silence, right? And this is not to say that, as soon as, you speak up, everything is miraculously going to shift, right? It's going to take time, but we have such a unique opportunity right now, right? Where we have the freedom to express to a certain degree, right? So allowing ourselves to do that while we have that right, is important, right? Allowing ourselves to speak up about the things that we're seeing, right? As we are watching so many different truths being revealed, allowing ourselves to bear witness, right? and to speak truth about the things that we're seeing, right? Yeah. I think it's just, sometimes I think we can make ourselves a bit too comfortable, within the things that are happening by, kind of putting that blame on someone else. I'm not the one that's doing anything. I'm not the one that's dropping any bombs. I'm not the one that is forcing evacuation, displacing so many people. We're not the ones that are actively doing that. We are not actively creating harm. So we can, find comfort in our inaction, knowing that we're not, actually the ones that are doing harm, but our silence allows things to continue, right? And if you think that it's something that's gonna just kind of blow over, a lot of people have become, well, not become, but a lot of people have this newfound hope for the future now that this presidential candidate is now in the race, and things seem like they're gonna get better. There is no one that we're going to vote into office that's going to make any of this different, right? I mean, yes, do what you feel you need to do in order to feel that safety and security, but recognize that that's not going to change anything, right? The only thing that is going to create true, meaningful, and lasting change is when we, the people, recognize the power that we have to make that change, right? When we, the people, recognize that the change that we want to see starts with us, right? It starts with us taking that deep look within ourselves, right? Looking at how we participate in all of this, right? How we are a party to it. We are complicit in it. We share responsibility in it, right? We cannot keep placing the blame on those in power. They are only in power because we have put them there, right? The issues that we have within these systems are far deeper than any election can solve, than any series of elections can solve, right? It's important that we stop placing our faith and hope in these systems finally getting it right, right? Because it's not going to happen. These systems were never meant to serve us, right? It was meant to keep us subdued and asleep so that we wouldn't recognize our power, right? And it's important that we allow ourselves to see that, right? No one is coming to save us. We are the ones that have to do that. So allowing ourselves to recognize that. When we feed into this, that side, this side, when we feed into those arguments and those divisions, we're doing exactly exactly what we've been conditioned to do, right? You know, I think of, when I was very much in those spaces, and, both sides looking at the other side as a sheep, not realizing that we all are that, all of us are playing into these systems, right? We're all allowing ourselves to be puppets in this larger game, you know? Yeah. Just allowing yourself to open your mind to other possibilities, right? Not allowing yourself to be resigned to the belief that that's just the way that it is. This is just the way that it's going to be, I think, we have access to many history books, right? And we can see that things have always been shifting, always changing, always evolving, right? So to think that we're going to stay here in this spot with this system, is very flawed system, that relies on the oppression of people in order to be sustained, right? Right now, we need to be thinking about building community, coming together, connecting, healing in community, figuring out ways to support ourselves and each other, right? Because as these systems fail, more and more we're going to be needing to rely on ourselves and our own skills, right? Learning how to grow our own food, right? It's just important that we prepare our minds for the shifts that are coming, the shifts that are already taking place, right? And I'm not saying it's all gonna crumble tomorrow. These are things that take time, right? But the evidence is there. Just allow yourself to look for it, right? To recognize it. It's in plain sight, right? Allow yourself to see the lies and the illusion, right? The false sense of security that these systems give, right? They're not here for you. They're actually actively working against you. And the sooner we're able to see that and recognize the role that we play, the better. So just allowing yourself to open your mind, open your eyes, and see. But yeah, in this moment, I believe I am complete. Sending so much love, peace, and positive vibrations. Calling in the liberation of all people in all places. Free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, free Haiti, free all people in all places, because we are all worthy of being free. And none of us are truly free unless we're all free. The liberation of all people is connected, and it's important that we recognize that truth. Sending much love.